talking about distracted driving. Well, how bad is it? How many people do it? And can it possibly be prevented? Richard Barrier thinks that he may have a solution for us because he's created an app called TxtMeL8r.
Yes.
So this is pretty exciting stuff.
Yes.
And how did you come up with this?
Well, I was training for a marathon, and I noticed that the drivers weren't watching me, so I had to look out for them because they were distracted by their phone.
Oh my goodness.
And so I realized it was a dangerous problem that that I came up with.
With all these other marathon runners, and there's a car pretty much like either right on your tail or right in front of you because they're not even paying attention.
Yeah, during the train, I'm just walking.
You're walking.
And they're just driving right in front of me or whatever, and they're just totally distracted.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so the name of the app is TxtMeL8r.
Yes.
I think we've got some photos here. And tell everybody, how does this work?
Well, simply what it does is it removes the temptation from using your phone or worrying about it, you know, beeping at you, the notifications, so you can focus on driving. And
so we'll go through the settings here.
okay, that's just the first window. When you click on it, it comes up. So when you want to change the setting, just hit the green button, and so you can change like the email address, the phone numbers for the parents. So if you have a bad behavior, distracted behavior, the parents are notified. And there is all the internal settings. So there's my name. And at 5 miles an hour, anything over that, you can't use the phone. So what it does is
You can't use the phone if you're driving over 5 miles an hour.
well, because what happens is it takes away the distraction. It prevents those messages from coming into you.
Okay.
So once you stop, you get all the text messages and all the phone calls. And what's really great is it will also auto-reply to the sender, text me later, I'm driving.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you.
And now, does this work on every phone?
Just on Androids right now.
Just on Androids?
Yes.
Okay, and not the iPhone?
Not the iPhone. Apple has a policy that they will not accept any apps that block or disable or do anything to prevent the iPhone from working, even if it's in your benefit. I could have a version ready in 3 months, but we've talked to Apple, and Apple has just basically said no thank you.
Oh boy, so it's available for Androids?
Correct.
Okay, and how long have you had this out?
We've made a few changes lately because distracted driving is a global issue, so this will actually work with international phone numbers as well. But the final version is out. I mean, we're always testing, but the production version is out on the Google Play Market now.
Okay, and cost, is it expensive?
It's $4.99, which is like the cost of a latte.
For a year?
For a year.
That's amazing. That's doable for everybody.
Yeah.
Now, with all the information of email addresses, can you shoot reports back to that email address or to the parents, like saying, okay, you know, they were texting or driving, or?
Yeah, they get a report once a day saying whatever behavior that, you know, so it's a parental tool.
Okay.
To help parents, you know, protect their teenagers in this, you know, very, it's not dangerous technology, but it's technology that was not around when I was a teenager, certainly.
Look at that.
Yeah, and that's the kind of message that you would get if you were, try to use your phone, try to text, if you're going, say, over 5 miles an hour in this example.
I think this is just great. And texting and driving, you know, when you think of distractions, give us a list of them. I mean, I'm sure there could be endless, and I'm sure I probably did about 3 of them this morning.
Yeah. Well, what's great is in the current version of Goodyear's In Focus magazine, they have a whole article on distracted driving and the different kinds of distractions. So besides texting and using apps or, you know, making phone calls, it could be putting on makeup, shaving. People read magazines and newspapers while they're driving, or just changing the dial on your radio. Like, especially with the newer cars, there's a lot of distraction built into the new cars already. I mean, who really needs a 17-inch monitor for your car?
Really? They have that? Oh,
Yeah.
well, you can tell I haven't gotten a new car in a
Yeah.
while, so I wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the hands-free devices, even though they're great, by the time you're trying to figure them all out,
Well, exactly. You still
you're
got to
looking
make
down.
you still got to make the phone call, and even though it's hands-free, it's still distracted driving while you're trying to drive a 1 or 1.5 ton car. So it's still distracted driving no matter what. You're not fully focused on what you should be doing.
And, you know, and let's talk some numbers here. When somebody does take their eyes off the road to send a text,
Yes.
let's say, isn't it like 4 seconds that you look away and how far you can drive at that point?
If you're going 50 miles an hour in 4.5 seconds, you've traveled the distance of a football field. So basically, you're driving blind.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All to send a text.
Exactly. Just for something that literally can wait.
And you had something you wanted to leave everybody with this morning about, you know, a thought.
Yeah.
Even though when you hear of the amount of distractions that are out there,
Yeah.
people lose their lives every day
Sure.
to texting and
Exactly.
distractions.
Yep.
But you had some key leaving thoughts, which I thought it's
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Pretty strong.
Well, there's two things I'd like to bring up. Besides, you know, the deaths, you know, there's like 5,500 deaths per year, or 15 per day, which is actually more than everybody who died in 1 year who died at 9/11 and the war in Afghanistan to date. And what about the people that actually survived the accident? What if they're crippled, maimed, you know, and or the person who caused the accident? They still have to live with that for the rest of their lives. And well, the one thing, you know, what my app does, what it prevents is in 6 months, we're heading toward the holidays. And everyone's going to be getting together for the festivities, getting together to share a meal. But unfortunately, there's going to be an empty chair.
An empty chair.
So what my app does, it prevents the empty chair that you can never fill from ever being there.
Because you had to return that text or pick up the
Yeah.
phone or put the makeup on. Or,
Yeah, it's just not worth it. And it's a sad consequence for, you know, something that was easily preventable just by not doing it.
And this app could be the solution because one text or call could wreck it all.
Exactly. And it's not just the person who dies who made the phone call, there are other consequences. You know, besides the person who may have died, it's the family, it's the friends of the family. There's this massive ripple effect that you can't ever get back, and that's really a tragedy.
Yeah, I think this app that you've created is just terrific. Richard, again, it's Text Me Later. You can get more information about it at TxtMeL8r.com.
Yep.
And thank you for
Thank you
hopefully
very
coming
much.
up with a solution for us.
Thank you. I believe I have.
We appreciate it. We'll be right back after this, everybody.